What's going on, guys? Welcome to Atlanta Sports First Take. I am Wes Shepard and I am going to be your host. This channel is going to focus primarily on the Braves, the Falcons, and the Bulldogs, mostly the Falcons. I will give you weekly updates on the Braves until the postseason, and I will give you post-game updates on the Bulldogs. But first, we got to get to our Braves. We made 3 big moves before the trade deadline. Yesterday, we signed Chris Martin, a guy with 3.08 ERA. In 33 starts. We got Chris Martin. We got Sean Green from Detroit, 22 out of 25 saves, 1.08 ERA. Great bullpen guy, great help. And then we got Mike, excuse me if I get this wrong, I think it's McClonklin. Another good bullpen piece. So it looks like the Braves are setting up for the long haul. And I am happy as hell because our offense is shooting on all cylinders for the most part. Now, to our main focus on this channel, our Falcons. I got my boy Jesse Tuggle, the man, the myth, the legend behind me. First, that'll bring us right into our defense and some things that I'm looking for in training camp. First thing is Foye Oluokun. Okay, this guy came out of the 7th round from Yale and beat out Duke Riley for the left outside linebacker spot to start. Okay, I don't think Duke Riley, to mention, is going to be anything more than a special teams guy from here on out. I mean, the guy's fast, but he doesn't have it going on up here. You know, what are you going to do? Foye Oluokun steps in, has 94 tackles, 2 pass deflections, did a great job in his place. We have Isaiah Oliver, the secondary. Some question marks there. We lost Robert Alford and Brian Poole. Most say Robert Alford, oh, he was a penalty machine. It's good to have him gone. He was a good cornerback. He was a good cornerback despite his, shortcomings. And then Brian Poole had 3 sacks. He had 6 interceptions. He had 86 tackles. But in steps Devontae KZ, coming back down to his normal position where he played at San Diego State, nickel cornerback. And a guy that led the league with 7 interceptions, I do not have any problem with him stepping down into that nickel spot. I think we'll be just fine. Isaiah Oliver stepping in for Alford, however, started 14 games, had an interception against Carolina in the last game we played them, and 7 pass breakups. He's long, he's fast, a lot of potential, and pressure's on this year. He's got to shine. We got to see what this guy's got. Alongside him, we're bringing back Bleedy Ray Wilson, 2 new guys, Kendall Sheffield and Jordan Miller. Kendall Sheffield came out of Ohio State, 5th-round pick. Some people thought we got a steal getting him in that spot. We also have Jordan Miller, as I said. Quinn said something interesting after practice one day. He said that Kendall Sheffield was keeping up with the ones. And I don't mean playing with the ones. I mean running stride for stride with Julio Jones, with Calvin Ridley. That's impressive. Those guys are monsters. I love to hear that. That is a great sign. Now that brings me down into our defensive line, where we have a lot of question marks and I feel like some answers that we got in the offseason. Tyler Davison is a great run stuffer. He will eat up some space and hopefully free up Grady Jarrett. We got Deidre Sanat coming into his 2nd year. I think he's ready to take another step up. Rashid Hageman's coming back. The guy's a monster. I'll never forget that Green Bay playoff game where he sacked him by grabbing his heel and flipping him backwards. That was great. Rashid Hageman also blocked a couple of field goals for us. I personally like the guy. I hope he comes back and does well for us. I really do. Now, on to Vic Beasley. Quinn's taking over the defense. Last time Quinn was coaching the defense, Vic Beasley had 15.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. And you guys say, oh, no, Richard Smith was coaching the defense. He was for the first few games, and then Quinn took over. And I think the only reason we signed Beasley on that 5th-year option is strictly because Quinn believes in him. And in Quinn we trust. In Quinn we trust. Now, Tak's been doing pretty good. He had 7 sacks last year. I need to see him more around that 10 mark. I think we brought Tack in to kind of overshadow Vic's shortcomings. I really think that was the reason we drafted Tack 31st in the first place. Like I said, D-tackle. Alan Bailey can sit down at the 3 technique, or he can play defensive end. He had 6 sacks last year with Kansas City. I think he's going to be a great addition. All I've seen of him training camp videos is him blowing our offensive lineman back, which is a good sign for our defense, bad sign for our offense. Some breaking news. that I learned recently about our offensive line. Kaleb McGary underwent a heart procedure. I am unsure. Everybody's unsure what that means, but he is, quote, out indefinitely. And I'm really hoping he gets back in preseason and gets some reps under his belt, because I do not want to see Tyson Braylow starting at right tackle this year. I just don't. I believe he's a liability. They've compared Kaleb McGary to Richie Incognito. He's a nasty tackle. He really goes and gets it. A nasty guy, like guys that we had back in 08 to 12, 2012. When we had Malarkey, we had some nasty guys up front. Sam Baker, a few other guys. Great job. And I think that this offensive line is going to be aggressive and fast. And I'm really hoping McGary gets back soon, because that's edger. But looking past that, in this preseason game, I want to see our running back depth, just like in training camp. You know, we got Quadre Allison, we've got Kenyon Barner, Ito Smith behind Bonde Freeman. We lost Tevin Coleman, who had 800 yards last year, averaged 4.8 yards a carry on 167 attempts. He had 4 touchdowns. Ito Smith averaged 3.5 yards a carry, had 300-something yards, and also had 4 touchdowns. So I think we have good depth at running back. However, if we lose Freeman for any good length of time, we will have, I believe, just an average running game. And I think we can do better than that. I really do. I think Freeman needs to stay healthy. That contract, he needs to live up to it. He's a hell of a runner. I know why we gave it to him, but it's time to see him stay healthy for at least 12 to 15 games. And I think we can do great things. If our offensive line holds up, if our defensive line can provide any amount of pressure, I think that this year is going to be a big year. One, because of our offense, I believe that we are going to be outscoring the defense, and that Vic and Tack are going to get a lot more opportunities coming off the ends, because we're going to be getting pressure up the middle, because we're going to have a lot of third and long situations and a lot of catching up to do. If this offense clicks the way it's supposed to, and we have 3 former head coaches on offense, we have Mike Malarkey, head coach at Tennessee, was our offensive coordinator for a while. We have Dirk Cutter coming back as our offensive coordinator. Let me tell you something. Dirk Cutter is the only reason Jameis Winston is even still in the league right now. Dirk Cutter made Jameis Winston look good. He made Fitzmagic look good. This guy knows how to coach offense. He didn't have much to work with in Tampa, but he's got a lot to work with here. Let's be honest. Steve Sarkisian was given the keys to the Ferrari, and Sarkisian wrecked the Ferrari. Okay? We've put a new engine in, and that engine is Dirk Cutter. And everything else is going to fire off that engine. And our receivers, our running backs, it's all, I think our rebuilt Ferrari on offense is firing on all cylinders. I believe our Falcons will fire on all cylinders, and we have to right out of the gate, because it's Minnesota, Houston. We got a few tough games to start with. As Dan Quinn says, iron sharpens iron. And that's what we're doing in training camp. That's what we're going to have to do to start the season. And that's what we're going to have to do to ultimately win the Super Bowl this year. And I think we can do it. I will make a post-game video after we play the Broncos tomorrow in the Hall of Fame game. If you agreed with anything I had to say, you liked it, smash the like button. Tell me in the comments what you think you're looking for in training camp. Maybe what you'd like to see out of the Braves. Are you happy with the moves that we made in the bullpen? Is it going to be enough? This is Atlanta Sports First Take. This is Wes signing out. I will see you guys next time.